Hello, everybody. My name is Juan Carlos Brando, and I'm so pleased to be again with you all in the show with the attorney Margaret W. Wong, who is the immigration attorney with over 43 years of experience since she started in 1977 with the immigration law firm that just became a very tiny law firm with only one desk, no secretary. Only Miss Wong was there as a dreamer, as a person that had dreams to become an important lawyer in the United States. And after 43 years, the law firm has become one of the major law firms in the United States of America, helping thousands of families every single year and even every month. The amount of approvals and the filings and everything that goes on in the law firm is awesome. So let's thank Ms. Wong for being with us today, and welcome to the show, Ms. Wong. How are you doing today?
I'm good, and thank you.
And well, I just wanted to mention that we are coming back to an outbreak of the COVID 19 with this Omicron variant. So we need to be careful. And well, the question is inevitable. What do we need to do right now in the immigration cases? Are we maybe slowing down again? No, I don't talk about the law firm slow down, but I'm talking about the immigration service. Is it going to slow down maybe again?
It's actually already very slow for whatever reason, even though Biden have been trying to see immigration is divided into three parts. You have CBP, which is the airport. Of course, now it's very slow because people are not traveling and there's a lot of shelter. Like if you go back to Hong Kong, you have to go to a designated hotel for 21 days. So that's CBP. On ICE, which is very much investigation, deportation, and the courts, because the judges belong to Department of Justice, but the lawyers from the government and the investigators from the government belongs to ICE. So the ICE group is very, very busy because under Trump, they're trying to deport a lot of people, and the cases were not approved but denied. So the courts have more than like a million cases pending. So right before Trump left, he hired more than 100 new judges, just so his philosophy and his theories live on. So right now we're sort of stuck with a lot of Trump appointments. That's ICE. The third department is CIS. That's where we get our citizenship, our green card, our work permits, our asylum interviews. That department fingerprinting is very, very important because whatever we do, we have to make sure because it's Homeland Security. Homeland Security wants to make sure that we give people work permit, green cards, resulting in a social number, resulting in a driver's license. They're not terrorists. So fingerprinting, we have more than 500,000 people in America waiting for work permits or green cards or green card 10-year extensions of green cards because the CIS people then they couldn't come back to work or they're closing and opening because of fingerprinting. They're too scared to do fingerprints. So good question. Are we slowing down? When I say we, I mean immigration. No, because the deportation cases, they're moving, but they get canceled because of a virus. It's just in a mess. It's chaotic. So you find some organization with chaos right now in the immigration world.
Well, and that's very true. I've heard of people that are really, really afraid. And someone that was talking to me yesterday was mentioning about um, in Spanish, they call it la hielera, which is like the ice place or the fridge, which is one of the detention centers in the southern border, where they put about 200 people in a small room where only fit 50 people. And if you want to go to the bathroom, you have to do it in public. And the place is really, really, really cold. And that's why they call it the fridge. They say that this is a very bad experience to be there, even if you stay there 1 day or 2 days you can get really sick. So I cannot imagine now how it's going, especially because of the um, the situation of COVID-19. So let's hope that people are a little thoughtful about the decision of coming to the United States, not because they are going to be a problem, it's because of their safety. They need to be safe. And well, now the program stay in Mexico has been reinstated. So if you have any question, please send it right now. You can text it through the live show, or you can go to the inbox, send it there, and we will forward it to this show with the attorney Margaret W. Wong. We actually have a question from a person from some country in Asia, Ms. Wong, and this person says, Ms. Wong, I have a question about I-130 and I-485. I am an U.S. citizen petitioning for my husband, a foreigner, for his permanent residence. He was F1 OPT, then overstayed, and we are married. We filed I-130 and 485 on March 2020. USCIS has now scheduled us for an interview in January 2022. However, we filed for a divorce in August 2021. In September 2021, my husband has left the United States for good. Therefore, I want the petition case to be canceled now. What can and should I do at this point? Should I write a letter to USCIS?
Yes, on the bottom of the form, sometimes you use a different form because of, again, the virus, left hand doesn't work. I would do with the receipt and the interview notice, I would also write a letter and say, we have been divorcing so and so, and my husband and Mr. So and so left America on so and so date. Because the sad thing is he already gave fingerprints. So in order to come back legally, the fact that he came either on tourist visa or student visa, but he left when 45 is pending, which means that he had an immigrant intent, which means that it will be very, very difficult for him to come back. I feel sorry for him. So if you are nice enough, I mean, I know you're divorced, so let them know he left. So whenever he come back, at least someone told them that he left. So it's not like he was trying to use you for a green card and he got it, now he left. He actually left in the proceedings. But coming back would be very difficult for him. So absolutely. So that you don't get denied, because next time if you want to sponsor another person, if they saw the I-130 being denied and the 45 denied, they would think, oh, is that a fraud marriage? Because within 5 years, if you have gotten someone a green card and within 5 years you want to re-sponsor someone else, it's also difficult. So I would just write a withdrawal letter. Don't give them a chance to deny. Sometimes they don't receive it, they still deny. And just say, Mr. So-and-so left the country on so-and-so date. We are hereby withdrawing both the I-130 and the 485. And make sure the both receipts are there, because if you only attach the I-130 receipt, only the I-130 is withdrawn, 45 is still pending. So please do both receipts and do the letter, and you don't need a lawyer for that.
Okay, and that's technically the withdrawal letter, right?
Yes, please.
Perfect. So thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for this answer. And if you are joining us today, please give us a call if you need more advice. Ms. Wong mentions that you don't need an attorney to do this for you, but if you need more help, just give us a call, 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984, attorney Margaret W. Wong and her law firm. The next question comes in Spanish, Ms. Wong. And this person says, my work permit is expiring in June for renovation. Should I do it now because of the delays?
Yes, do it in less than 180 days. So you have 180 days to file the work permit, except if it's DACA, you should file it in 4 or 5 months before. But for all the work permits, 280 days.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And this next question comes in Spanish and is directed to my inbox. It says, hi, Juan. How are you doing? God bless you. And I'm sorry to bother you. Um, I would like to have some orientation to see how can I migrate to the United States. What are the requirements? What can I do to request for political asylum? Or maybe if we could get someone to give us an acceptation letter saying that they are going to sponsor us. I know that this is complicated, but this is very, very bad here back in Venezuela. um, I have my husband and two kids. and I would like to know what we can do. We don't have a visitor visa.
Okay, I feel very bad for you, and I'm glad you sent us an email. And in fact, for our listeners, if you want to, last Sunday's New York Times, one of the front page story is by a writer who really understands Venezuelan politics. It's a beautiful read. In fact, I Googled his other books and I already bought two of his prior books. It talks about why Venezuela being one of the best country in South American, the whole Latino countries. Now suddenly what happened to Venezuela? It's just a really very good story. So please read that story. To answer your question, I presume you don't have a tourist visa. You're still stuck in Venezuela. And the fact that you know how to, at least, right, Mr. Juan Carlos, that you're educated. So basically, really, there's only two ways to come to America. If not, you need to go somewhere that you can apply for tourist visa. Tourist visa was denied. It doesn't mean it's forever denied. I just met with a client who got a tourist visa. The whole family got in 2018, which by then was already very bad. So there's still hope. So you can always apply for another tourist visa after 9 months to a year. But more than a tourist visa, maybe don't go as a family. As a family, it's always hard to get tourist visa. Maybe go each person at a time. Another way to do it is if you have university level educations, find a job offer in America, then the job offer can do an H-1B for you, and then you can get an H-1B to come to America. Another thing that a lot of us Asian people are doing, not so much Latino people, is to immigrate to countries like Mexico, because if you get a Mexican passport, which I heard is not that difficult, Mexican nationalities, they could come to America on a TN visa, and knowing you, you probably have university degree. So you can use the Mexican visa passport to come on a TN, a free trade visa, or to come on an H-1B, or to come on a E2 visa, which Venezuelan, I don't think have a E2, and it's also difficult. So that's another way to do it. Another way to do it is to find a permanent job offer to do a perm and an I-140. You don't need a university level education to do that. You can get a restaurant job, whatever you and your husband do, have a job offer in America. It will take about 2.5 years to immigrate to America. Then you don't need to worry about student visa, tourist visa, going to a third country and apply for new visa to come in. That's a perm case. You're right. If you come to America on a student or tourist visa or come illegally to America, which I don't recommend now because it's very dangerous, like Mr. Juan said, it's very cold. But then they remain in Mexico, which makes it hard. But if you come undocumented, you can apply for asylum. Venezuelan asylum lately have been really being approved. The two best countries now to apply for asylum is very much Turkey and Venezuela. So, but the thing is, how do you come to apply for asylum? Because you cannot apply for asylum status when you're back home. In the olden days, when Vietnam fell, when Laos fell, when Cambodia fell, you can go to a refugee camp. Like Vietnamese people, we used to go to Thailand refugee camp and wait for years. In the olden days, Chileans, it's such a bad economics that they come to America on parole, on asylum. But now Chile is one of the best economics in South America. So things change, people change, climate change, asylum laws change. But here's my short answer.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for this answer. And please pay attention to what the attorney Margaret Wong says. I presume you speak English because you wrote the question in English. So thank you so much for getting in touch with us. And Ms. Wong, how long would it take for a person who has been put in the program stay in Mexico? How long would they wait in Mexico?
Good, very good question. Remain in Mexico only means remain in Mexico. So you go through the line, you put in your asylum application, they will make sure your phone number is correct and make sure your address is correct. I would say 1.5 months to 3 months. I would say averaging 2 months. So try not to go home, because last time when remain, that's why America is getting upset, because remain in Mexico is that simple. You remain in Mexico. So don't run back home to El Salvador and then come back for the interview, because anytime you leave and you come back, Then they have to do more FBI check. And then if you're that scared and you ran away, why do you go back? Because remaining in Mexico is difficult. That's how they so the best survival, when I always tell people, if you remain in Mexico, stay there. You may want to have no food, you may want, but do it, because people like us who came to America, we all suffered. I used to clean toilets, I worked in hotels. I would go to, I didn't know Southern University of Chicago was that dangerous. I remember 40 years ago. So I would stay in a little hotel next to University of Chicago. I would take the train, the bus to go work, come back with train and bus. Even people the cooks, the chefs in a hotel or in the restaurant, they will walk me because they'll be so bad. They know it's bad. And most of them are African American. In those days, I mean, when you come from a foreign country, you don't know in America that Black people are discriminated, right? So I'm like, I'll go with them. They'll take me and they'll say, Margaret, be careful, all right? If people, because I was such a young and Catholic, all girls. So there are good people in America, but it is a dangerous place. So, but I hope I answered your question. Yeah. So
Thank
it
you.
takes 9 months, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 9 weeks, but don't go back and pick up your phone, because people only call you once or twice or send you one letter. And it's frustrating because then nobody answers the phone, the letter come back, and then you come back and come illegally. So now we have to explain. If I'm your lawyer, I have to re-explain. I mean, of course, I don't have to tell them, but they will have your fingerprint, because when you come in the line, they took your fingerprint. So now we have to re-explain where we went, why didn't they put up the phone? It's just a pain. So stay there and wait.
Thank you so much, Ms.
No
Wong. And
problem.
don't forget that you can call her on 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. So for now, this year, Ms. Wong is taking care of your consultations from the city of Cleveland and over the phone. And are you still seeing people in person in Cleveland, Ms. Wong?
Yeah, we are seeing people in Cleveland. Tomorrow I'll be in Nashville. Actually,
Okay, so
yeah.
tomorrow, which is December the 17th, Ms. Wong will be in Nashville, Tennessee. So please, if you are in Nashville, you can call 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984, and she will be happy to receive you there and have a good consultation with her in person, which is awesome because you will know what to do after you talk to her. Ms. Wong, this next question. Um, Hi, my name is Jayendra. I applied for U visa January 2020. I applied for bona fide EAD in July 2021. Same time, June 2021, I applied for STEM OPT 24-month extension. Now I see online USCIS send RFE for STEM OPT, but I didn't receive any letter in mail. I contacted USCIS customer service center, and they told me that my they mail me the receipt in Vermont Service Center. I have to contact them in writing later. I did send them the letter, but any update. So I'm worried about my student status. In this case, what can I do?
Okay, so you're talking about parallel track case. On the one hand, you filed for U visa. You also applied for, I presume, it's a C-14 and A-19 work permit on the one side. I won't worry about that. I think what more you're worried is because you're worried about the U visa hurting your chances of getting OPT. I don't think so. A green card hurts the chance of OPT because green card is immigrant intent and OPT is temporary intent. So I would focus on the RFV, get a copy of that RFV and respond. STEM OPT is not that difficult. You don't really need a lawyer for that, Mr. Patel. So absolutely try to get a 2-year STEM OPT because you're legal and you need STEM. In the meantime, wait for the C-14 work permit. You only file your U visa in 2020. It'll take about 4 or 5 years, but at least Biden came up 2 or 3 months ago. That's why President Biden really is not a bad president when it comes to immigration. He knows what he's doing. He knows that people like us, all we want is that work permit. And exactly, that's your question. On the one hand, I'm waiting for my OPT, which is a work permit. On the other hand, I also filed my U visa, and I don't know why you didn't file the C14 and 819 together with the U, the 918, because it seemed like you filed it a separate time, but that's okay, it's filed. Biden already said they'll give it, but I still think you need to wait at least 1.5 or 2 years to get the 4-year work permit under the deferred action on U visa. But your OPT, stamp OPT should be approved. Stamp OPT is not that difficult. Just respond to RFV because you didn't get it. So now you're worried the U visa is hurting your stamp. It does not hurt stamp.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for this answer. And don't forget the phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. And actually, she has offices in 9 cities of the United States: Atlanta, Chicago, Columbus, Cleveland, Memphis, Minneapolis, Nashville, New York, and Raleigh, North Carolina. And the phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. So the person, Jayendra Patel, just sent the last part of the question. Sorry for bothering you, but USCIS didn't send me an RFE letter. It's been 120 days.
Oh, but earlier you said they sent the RFV. So it's the
Yeah,
RFV. Yeah.
that's what the online information says, but she never, or he never received the RFE.
Okay, so they may have sent it to the wrong address, or the postman, because a virus delivered in the wrong house. So absolutely be patient. Call U.S. Immigration. If not, do an InfoPass appointment to go ask them. If not, ask for a senator or congressional aide to chase it for you. And it's 180 days is bad because RFV is only 90 days. So you already missed your another 30 days. But then RFV, you also have another 60 days with the virus to respond. And also call the foreign student advisor, the FSA from your university, and ask them did they receive it, because all these are F1. The FSA should be responsible. At least they should help you. So I would also call your university, and don't panic because I don't see it as a major problem. And if not, go to congressional people. I don't know where you live, but go to your local congressmen or senators. Don't talk to them because they won't talk to small people like us. But talk to the congressional aide who handles immigration matters. Write them a letter and tell them what the web said. Print out the web and also do the say you never received it. And also talk to your local postman, because the local postman sometimes will remember. Like I sometimes, I'm expecting something and I'll call him. I say, it's been a week, I didn't get it. And he'll remember. He'll say, oh, I thought I dropped it, but I know you're not home. I dropped it in the garage door, stuff like that. So lo and behold, it is there. So maybe call your local policeman and say what happened. Or go to your local post office and push it. And be nice, because sometimes if you're too pushy, people would say, oh, I don't care, it's not their job. But if you're nice and people want to help, yeah.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for this answer. And don't forget, the phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. And this is very curious, Ms. Wong, but I've been waiting for some mails from the USPS service, and it comes really fast. And I have sent something, and it goes really fast. But there are other companies that are more expensive, and you pay the express delivery, and it takes more time.
Mhm.
So it's really curious how it's working right now.
Right.
So the next question here, Ms. Wong, is another Venezuelan person says, "Hi, I got my asylum granted, and now I have my green card. My passport is expired 3 years ago. My husband was the applicant, and I am the beneficiary. My question is, can I go to Venezuela? My mom is very old and sick. I would like to see her before something happens." And the
Okay.
second question is, can I travel with my green card since my passport is expired?
That's a very, very good question. Normally, for Venezuelans, when we do their cases, I put, like in your case, you already said your husband is the first one. So it depends. So if page, I think it's page 4 or page 3 on the form, they say, are you married? You say you're married. If your husband is in America, do you want, in your case, as a spouse, in your case? So they have this question, if your spouse is in the United States, do you want to include her or him in this application? If you say yes, that means that you have an independent grant. So during I don't know if you win your case during the interview or the court, but during the court or interview, whenever you win, if you have a direct approval, like if it is an immigration, one letter have two. Actually, you may even get two letters, but with the judge is one letter with your A number and the husband's A number, you cannot travel because you are the rider on your husband's case. And also in court, you are the beneficiary in your husband's case. But if you say no to the 589 and the husband won and you got it through a 730. So a lot of Chinese, they're smart. Like when I do a Chinese case, that's what they want. All right. They much prefer not to have a work permit. Will say no. Will say, yes, the husband is here. Yes, I'm married. Do you want to include your spouse here? I say no. Then when I win the case for the wife, now I do a 730. It takes only 3 months or 5 months for approval. Now the husband got can apply for the A5 work permit. And within 1 year of the 730 approval, I filed a 45 for the wife and for the husband and get him the green card. Now this husband can travel. That's how the Chinese want it. But for Venezuela, my experience has been, you probably say yes, so both of you went together, you cannot travel. It's in fact, number one, you don't have a passport, so you can apply for re-entry permit. How do I, because, and it's just like China, India, they won't give you a passport if you applied for and won asylum. Now Venezuela is closed anyway, you couldn't get one. So the way to do it is file the I-131 with USCIS. Tell them you need it for travel. You don't need it for, it's you already got the green card, but you need it for travel. So it's a different case than advanced parole on TPS or advanced parole on DACA, because you already got the green card. It may go faster. If you really are desperate to travel, buy a plane ticket, attach it to your I-131, they may even go more faster. That's how you do because a lot of countries won't issue passports. Either they're closed, like the old Russian Federation versus the new Russia. So people who are born in the Federation, and sometimes they couldn't get passports anymore because the country itself, the independent countries won't recognize you. But Russia, there's no more Russian Federation, so you couldn't get a passport. That's how people get passports.
Yeah, so Ms. Wong, I think this person is adding something. My daughter lives in France. Can I visit her with a travel document since I don't have the passport up to date?
Yes, apply for the I-131. Yes, because you're not going back home. Yes, you can go to France, but don't sneak into Venezuela because I have a lot of Indians because their parents are dying. They go to Nepal and sneak in. Now the porous is no longer porous, the border, and immigration knows. So I have people who actually got, when they apply for citizenship or when they come back, they got a letter saying that, hey, we understand you went to India. And they say, how do you know? I say, it's Homeland Security. Homeland Security knows everything. So my advice is always don't sneak in because I have clients who thought, oh, I can go to Colombia from, somewhere next, so I can go to Spain from somewhere, even though they win asylum. Absolutely not.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And our time is up for today, Ms. Wong, but well, people have a lot of questions about what's going to happen with the visas and everything and next year. And we have a question that we could close with is how long or when is a good time to file H-1B petition?
February 1st. You go on the USCIS.gov. You just have to put in the company name, your name, job title, job description, job salary. Very simple. You don't have to have word, because if you have a finance degree, you're applying for accounting job is a problem. You don't have to say too much. Once you get into the system, by April 1st, now you need it's better to use a lawyer and file the H-1B. And then they may or may not, like last year, we didn't get too much noise or RFVs, but when Trump was here, we got a lot of noise and RFVs. Last year was good.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Wong. So I'll see you next time, next Wednesday. And I wish you the best for tomorrow in Nashville. And I hope a lot of people are calling to the office right now so that if Miss Wong has a space for tomorrow, you can go and see her in the Nashville office. The phone number is 216-279-3984. Thank you so much, Miss Wong. See you next time.